that I'm extremely humbled by the confidence the leadership of the party has reposed in me in electing me as the presidential candidate of the People's Progressive Party. This is something that I will take very seriously, that I take very seriously, and I think that the approach by the People's Progressive Party has always been a team approach. All my other comrades and colleagues who contested for the post of presidential candidate has committed to working towards the common agenda, the common goal, and as a team for the People's Progressive Party. This speaks to the fact that the party is united, that we are united and strong, and we are ready to confront the challenges that face us, ensuring that the People's Progressive Party is returned to government for the service of all Guyanese. I'm also very delighted to be given this opportunity to lead a party with such a great history, and I want to assure you that I'm committed to the programs of the PPP, the policies of the PPP, which has as fundamental the delivery of key and essential goods and services to all Guyanese, regardless of race, regardless of religion, regardless of social strata. The PPP is committed to all Guyanese, and I'm committed also to development of all Guyanese. I have been in this party for more than 20 years. I've served at various leadership levels. I'm the finance secretary of the party. I'm in the PYO since 1992. This allowed me the opportunity to view from a first hand the many challenges that young people face and the opportunities that exist out there for young people to be involved in the governance of our country and being part of the solution. The very fact that our party leadership has elected a young person shows that our party is committed to young people, not only by talk, but by action. So, as I said, I'm delighted. I've had a long experience in government, in policy formulation, and implementation of massive projects, programs. You know that I worked at the State Planning Secretariat. I headed the Caribbean Development Bank Project Implementation Unit. I functioned for 7 years in the cabinet. I was the opposition spokesperson on finance. I'm still the opposition spokesperson on finance. So I think that the difficulties that we have to face ahead of us with the joblessness that exists, the issue of our rising debt, the issue of the poor implementation of the public sector investment program, the downturn in the economy, issues with investors' confidence, issues with aid mobilization. These are huge issues, and I'm not even mentioning oil and gas and all the other massive transformational projects that are needed to take Guyana forward. I think with that experience, the experience I've had in government, it allows me the opportunity to work alongside the team, our team, the broader PPP team, in moving Guyana forward for the betterment and improvement of the lives of all our people.
Many persons see you as just a face, and you'll be pulling the strings, you'll be pulled by the upper people, the Mr. Jagdeo particularly. How do you respond to that concern by even some of your own members out there?
Well, let me say this. I see myself as part of a team and not as an individual. I'm part of a team, the People's Progressive Party team, and that team will be widened. That team develops an agenda, a program that I'm committed to. I'm committed to the program of the manifesto of the People's Progressive Party, which has at its heart the interests of the people. The reversal of all the policies during the last 3.5 years that affected the vulnerable people. So let me say this. First of all, I see myself as a team, and I see the General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party as a great asset to Guyana. I see him as a great asset to the party. I see him as someone who has served tremendously well and someone who has a lot to offer. And I don't know what you meant by pulling string, but what I could say is that if you have such a great asset, if any organization have a great asset, it is only the interest of that organization and for the country to deploy that asset and use that asset as fully as possible for the betterment of the Guyanese people.
How do you prevent yourself from being overshadowed as the president if you were to be elected in later this year or next year? How do you avoid that overshadowing or perception of being overshadowed?
Well, let me say this: the use of asset has nothing to do with overshadowing. I think that this is a team approach. This is not an Irfaan Ali approach. This is a team approach to government. This is a PPP approach, implementing the policies and programs and manifesto of the PPP. At the end of the day, the people will judge us based on our ability and how effectively we implement our manifesto. I've had experience with this at the Ministry of Housing and Water and Tourism and Industry and Commerce, where we had very challenging targets, but we were able to realize all of them. So at the end of the day, it is the delivery. It is delivery to the people. It is meeting the expectations of the people. It is improving the lives of all our people. And let me say this, the focus must be on all our people. The policies and programs of the PPP will be inclusive of all the people of our country. We have to ensure that all benefit. We have to ensure that young people benefit, the elderly benefit, women benefit. We have to ensure that all of Guyana becomes part of this developmental push and agenda that would lead our country forward.
Well, already your credibility has been called into question as a result of question marks about your qualifications, and two, you have a pending court case. What do you say to those people who see this as impacting on your credibility?
Well, first of all, let me say that I'm very confident about who I am. I have issued a statement in relation to my qualification. I've issued a number of certificates, and even when you issue the certificates, there are issues raised about the certificates themselves. And I've committed to releasing more of what I've requested, and I will stick to this commitment. There is nothing for me to hide. There is no way for me to hide.
Transcripts?
And transcripts, yes. I've requested additional transcripts of everything that I've completed over the years. I've issued a statement to this extent, and I want to assure you that I am very confident about my qualification. I'm very confident of who I am. And I'm just showing you one example of how things are manipulated, and then it just fuels the propaganda and the rumor mongering. One of my certificates, someone said they call the university and the program doesn't exist. I've since written the university, and the university has written me confirming my qualification. Why? So these are the things that I would avoid, the rumor mongering. I will not fuel it. I will stick to my statement, and as the facts come, I'll just release it to the media. I have nowhere to go.
Chamber Business School
the other issue, as I said, every single part of my qualification will be released. I've requested, and they will be released. The other issue is regarding the court. Okay. Listen. I don't want to cross that bridge now. When we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. But I think that the PPP has the experience in its leadership that will deal with all of these matters. The whole issue of the court and what comes out of the court is a bridge we will cross when we get there.
How do you assert your independence, sir? You're talking about going forward as a team, but there will be an Irfaan Ali out there as the presidential candidate and could move on to be the executive president. So how do you assert your independence as now a leader in this party?
As I said, Mr. Mosley, that my performance at the Ministry of Housing and Water and Tourism, Industry and Commerce would tell you about my independence. At the end of the day, as president, you're in charge of a team that has a duty and responsibility to implement a program and a manifesto that you're elected on. You know the challenges we have with this government in terms of implementing the manifesto they were elected on. So at the end of the day, as president, you have to implement a manifesto that you were elected on, that people had trust in you to elect you on. And that will be the focus. Your independence is asserted by ensuring that a team perform and the team deliver on the manifesto and the promises that are made in that manifesto.
Your thoughts in the oil sector, would you like to see, for instance, that the oil blocks be delivered by way of competitive bidding? And two, what do you plan to do in the area of corruption?
Well, let me say this, let me address that. The party has already issued statement in relation to this and the position in relation to this. That is public auction of the remaining oil block. I think, and as I said, I am going to work with the party agenda, work on implementing the party agenda, and ensuring that the party agenda and programs are implemented successfully. So in relation to that, yes, I'm committed to what the party would have said in relation to that issue.
And corruption. And corruption, Mr. Ali.
Oh, corruption, as I said, the party has a serious stance on corruption. And one of the ideas that I put out in my quest for the nomination is a strong laws actually criminalizing certain things. For example, the non-declaration of resources when received. If it's not declared within a certain time, that there must be strong laws that criminalizes such act, and it must be clear what are the consequences of such act.
Will you be revisiting the ExxonMobil 2016 agreement?
But as I said, these are things that we will have to discuss. The party is discussing these things. The leadership is discussing a lot of these matters. And when we go into the details of this is not going to be the only press conference, press engagement, not conference, press engagement. So when we get to that bridge, when we debate and look at these issues in depth, we are going to definitely be more elaborate in our comments.
So how often will you be speaking with the press? What do you, Irfaan Ali, the PPP presidential candidate, want in a prime ministerial candidate that will run next to you?
Again, that is a matter that...
no, but what do you want as somebody who will take the campaign trail with you?
Listen, this is a question that the PPP leadership will address, and I'm sure I have confidence in the PPP leadership and in addressing this issue and in defining what we are looking for. But what we will be delivering to the Guyanese people is a team, a winning team, and a team that would take Guyana forward, that would ensure that all of Guyana benefit and all Guyanese benefit. So thank you very much, and thank you for your time.